Okay, so now that we have our template, one of the things I do is I leave that template up on the board. Okay, I do have a projector and it is streaming up to the board. And usually, when the students see this template, they understand, they know, we're going to be writing a story. Now, some of the elements in this will be in English just because I want to be able to share this out with more. I teach German, but this is a way that you can do this. So there will be some elements in German, some elements in English, but you kind of get what I'm going with. So if you can tell right here, I do have the level 2 story and the level 3 story together in one. I use the same materials uh, for two different levels. And what I can do with that is I can then go out and I can adjust the story as we make it together with the students so that it's more appropriate for level 2 versus level 3. Now, what I share with the students is I explain we're going to make a story, and the other level is going to have to decode it. So, this usually ends up being really fun. Once you make the story for both of the classes, then the next day they have to read the other class's story and translate it. And what that does is it helps them see what other ways they could have gone with the story. But interestingly enough, it sometimes makes the two stories be very, very similar. They have similar plots. I don't know why that happens, but it's pretty fun. So let's go ahead and take you through how do we actually create these stories. So again, like I said, the students will come in, they'll sit down, they'll have the story up on the board, and then we're going to go ahead and move on down. Now, as with storytelling, one of the things that you do is you introduce the vocabulary. And the vocabulary is here up in the black, and the translations are here in red. Now, as you can tell, it's halfway done right now, but I would leave up the black box here. And then the red box, what I would do is I would talk to them about the vocabulary. Now, I do this one of two ways. One, trying to make it comprehensible. I use pictures, I use actions, I mime a lot of stuff. Sometimes, though, I also look at doing words like in a decoding fashion. Me personally, I love that German is very easy to decode. And once you know all the little words, you can oftentimes put those little words together and make big words. For example, Hubschrauber. Uh, Hub, H-U-B, is the hub. Schrauber is to screw, like a screw, or to spin. And so it's like a spinning hub. So kind of cool. So I would introduce the vocabulary. And as I am introducing the vocabulary, I tell the students, okay, steigt ein, das bedeutet was. And then I would say, what does steigt ein mean? And they would give me the answer. And as I go through the vocabulary with them, I'm typing it up. So this means to get into or board, okay, like for a plane. So then after I get done explaining to them all the vocabulary, and I feel confident that they have the vocabulary, what I do then is I say, now our goal is to be able to use these vocabularies. Now the students also have a sheet where they're taking notes, and I say anything up on this board is free game. I want you to write it down. So they're seeing it, they're writing it, and they're hearing it all at once. So the next thing that I do is I come down here to the level 2 story. So I will mention one more thing, that the vocabulary from this does come from the Look I Can Talk foreign language curriculum. They do have English, German, French, and Spanish. It is a very wonderful framework, especially for those of us teachers who often don't like to be constrained by worksheets. And it really allows the flexibility to be creative, but it also has the supports necessary to help you teach a really fun class. I'm not a sponsor, just a user, and I love using their work. So I just wanted to point that out in case the vocabulary looked very familiar. So what do I do with the vocabulary next? I go ahead and I scroll down to the story. Now, I show the students the pictures and I say, okay, guys, who is going to be the main character? And they say, I want the girl. Okay, here's das Mädchen. Das Mädchen is girl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the text button here on the left-hand side, and then it's going to give me some text options here. I'm going to go ahead and click on heading. It tends to give the best bang for your buck when it comes to the size uh, of the text. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to change the alignment. You can have those text boxes already set up. Sometimes I've done insert text here. It works. So Klasse, wie heißt das Mädchen? I just asked them, what is the girl's name? And they say, oh, das Mädchen heißt. Okay. And I'll type this in. And they say, das Mädchen heißt Birgit. Okay. Sie heißt Birgit. Okay, so the girl is named Birgit. And then I'll say, I will go through the typical questions that you do with storytelling. You do the questioning and the circling. And then what I would do is I would say, okay, I would ask more questions. Wie alt ist sie? Okay. Oh, das Mädchen ist. Okay, das Mädchen ist. How do I say the girl is? Das Mädchen ist. And then I'm asking them an age, and they may not be good at their numbers, or maybe they are good at their numbers. What I sometimes like to do is I like to give them two choices. I say, ist das Mädchen 10 Jahre alt, or ist das Mädchen 5 Jahre alt? And they look at the girl. Sie ist 10 Jahre alt. She's 10 years old. So then what I do is I type this in, and you can do how you do it. And as you go through the class, what you're going to do is you're going to continue on with that story. And you're going to type in. I recommend about 4 to 5 sentences per slide. So what that's going to do is it basically kind of keeps the pace of the class going. Usually at about 4 sentences, you're done. Okay. Think of it like a children's book. You're writing this with the students. And so I would do that. Next thing I would do, I would come down here and I would do the same process for this picture here. Now, what we have is the story here on the left. And then we have, of course, the images on the right. Now, as the story progresses and we create more of the story, we get to the very end. Okay. And we scroll down just a little bit further and we get to the level 3 story. And I follow the same pattern. And then so basically what I've done is I've created 2 classes worth of material with only 1 lesson. Now, each of these stories is geared towards that level. So I've already gone through and I've allowed certain structures and complexities in the level 2, but I've allowed a few more of those in the level 3. So the way that I've coached them and helped them understand how to use the words and the vocabulary and the structures, we go a little bit higher up for the level 3. Now, that's kind of a way to do that. And of course, you can talk about the different ways. If you can think of any other options on how I can do that better, go ahead and put it down in the comments because I'd really like to know. I want to know how to become a better teacher. So these are the options here that you can do. And once you get done with the story, there's a couple of options. And because I set this as a website, you can publish it as a website. And I did it as a website because I thought this would be a lot of fun. And the reason is because websites tend to last a lot longer. And you have here the story and you can embed the story. Another thing that I have done, as you can tell here, I have created a way for students to listen to the story. Okay. And I did that in Canva. If you go back to the story, if we go back to the design, one of the things that we can do is we come down here to the video tab. Now on the video tab, it's really interesting. So what I can do is I can record myself and I'm going to go ahead and record with my camera. And then I can go ahead and record and I can say, wait. Sie stiehlt den Hubschrauber von der Polizei. Sie steigt in den Hubschrauber ein. Sie fliegt mit einem Hubschrauber zum Känguru. Okay, so I can go ahead and read that, and then I click done. I save and exit. Now, when I do that, what I'm going to be doing is creating a read to student story. Right. Hope I don't think that got to you guys, but that came to my hearing aid. All right. So what you do after that is you just publish the website, and you can post this link to any LMS or any email, even. I mean, you can put it into just about anything, and you can play that. The students can interact with that differently. Again, they're taking it home. Hey, Herr Dab, what did we do last week? They have that story with them. So the next thing that I'm going to show you, because again, this is all wonderful, and you could take this, if you set this up as a presentation, what you can do as a presentation, okay, I'll show you over here on the whiteboard because it really depends on how you start your project. This one was started as a website and it works just well, but there are some features that are limited with a website, but you can also publish this other ways. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to the whiteboards. Now, this is something I just found out today. If you go into canva.com, you can see, maybe this just came up in my feed, but they do have a whiteboard option. So click on the whiteboard, and we're going to see the different types of whiteboard templates that they have for us to look at. It's really pretty cool. So there are some templates here that they have. So here we have a class template, and what you can do with this, there's a lot of options here. Now, these are different story elements. I don't know why it's so small. I guess you just do that. So here you have some storytelling elements. So the students can take an image and put that into the frame here. And they can also type the name of the person and then a description of the person. So kind of cool. Again, for storytelling, this is really great. Let's go ahead and use this whiteboard. I see that they are giving us a big giant canvas to work with. Okay, so what I would recommend doing is maybe zooming out, getting used to the zoom feature down here on the bottom right. So we have our options now. And so what we can do is we can start here with our characters in the story. And if we zoom in quite a bit, we have a couple of options. So we can illustrate a picture of the character of the story. We can import a picture of a story character. We can also have these tags for students to put different qualities, maybe some adjectives of some sort on there. And we can go over here, and it basically takes you through the process of writing a story. We have some connections to real events or other stories read. We have a conflict of a story. So we can kind of go through the different elements that make these stories work. So we're bringing in a lot of different avenues and approaches so that the students aren't just pulling out, oh, well, it's a boxing kangaroo who used to fight MMA. Now they're starting to come up with other ways to help spur on those ideas in a more constructive manner. So I like that a lot. So definitely a ton of fun. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can share this out in other formats. So if we hit the share button, what we're going to see is that we can present it. Let's see how that presents. Maybe. So we present it, and we have our board here. So kind of helpful, I guess, if you have something that you want to share with in a presentational format. But you can also go to the templates here. You can save it as a template and save the link out to other people. We can also put it out as an assignment. Now, if you assign it to students, it will be assigned. You can either assign individually or by groups. But if you want the whole class to work on it, what you would do is you would type in your class here, and then you would have them all work together. We create a copy that would be seen by all the members of that group, and they would all work on it together. So either way is really just a great way to have them do that. If you click on the three dots, there is a more button. Now, this is really great because I think that it really opens up a world of possibilities. They have all the normal ones, but there's a couple of items here, the embed. So if you click on that embed code and you say embed, it's going to generate a code for you. If you copy and paste that into your learning management system, it is going to be absolutely fabulous. And it's going to help people be able to find your stuff. Right? Any changes that you make to this will be updated on your learning management system. So again, for those students who were missing that day, they were out, had a volleyball game, soccer game, football game, whatever, they can come back to class and they say, well, what did we do? You say, go ahead and check Schoology or Google Classroom. And they will have that embed code already in there. It will display for the student and they can find out what they've done and what they need to study. Excellent tool to have. If we go back to those three dots, we're going to see that there are other options for you to share it. You can share it on your personal Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. I think that's kind of good. You can download these. I don't know how I would download this particular activity, but it is possible. And they also have other options, messaging, Google Classroom, assignment, remind, lots of different ways to share this assignment out. So I hope that you see how this really works as a front of classroom instruction. Once you have that one template made, you can use it and use it and use it and use it. If I were to use this template again later on, I would go ahead and change the images and I would create something different out of it. I would put new images in. And the way that you do that is simply go to the Elements tab and type in what kind of element you want. So you can put cats. Cats. There we go. And next thing you know, the story is about cats. So hopefully this was a helpful tutorial, kind of long, but worth your time because guess what? Everybody needs a little bit of help. Teachers need help finding ways to save time because I tell you, I run out of time. I ran out of time last year and I won't let that happen again because I can do this and I know that there's other people just like me trying to figure it out. So if you like my video, please go ahead and subscribe. If you had some ideas or thoughts or comments, put them down below. I'm curious to find out what you think. Maybe you have some ideas that you can share out with not just me, but with the rest of the community. I don't mind sharing this stuff because I really truly think that teachers need help. And if we don't start helping, if we don't start giving out to the greater community, then we're going to have more trouble. So let's work together. Find new ways to be creative, share out with people, and let each other know that we're in this together and we're going to make it through. Have a wonderful day. It's been great. Take care.